All right, here we are, guys, down on the lane with your resident two-hander, the bearded beast, Rob Johnson, and we are bowling on the easiest of easy house shots. And you can see that we've got the new zigzag solid from Radical. What is that? That's a scary 8-pin. Yeah, look at my face here. Now, this is the same core that we saw from the zigzag hybrid, the 250, 045, 015. But now we've got the HK22 solid. It's the hyperkinetic solid, which is a really traction-y cover stock. And this is designed to be a benchmark ASIM that fills kind of a whole bunch of gaps that a traditional symmetrical benchmark can't fill, especially with you speed dominant players. Now, most people think that this thing is supposed to be a hook monster. It's supposed to be a big lateral mover. But this is a benchmark control ball. That unique core shape allows you to create a whole bunch of different layouts that match up with your desired ball motion. And if you actually look at their drill sheet there, from their pin up, their fast response layout, to their pin down, their slow response, there's 30 points of differential. That's 3 inches of flare and the width of the flare. So that is a ton of difference in performance. Oh, you can see I was happy with that one. Yeah, I was a big fan of this ball. Let's talk about the Mo Memorial that happened this past weekend. I held off on recording this review until that happened because I took this ball with me because I wanted to try it out while I was down there. Now, the pattern we were on was it was a modified Mo house pattern, which means it was deceptively hard. Like, there was tons of ways to get to the pocket, but it didn't necessarily have the proper friction and the proper deflection to get through the pins when it got to the pocket. So that was what was challenging. If you could figure it out, you could really light them up. But if you didn't figure them out, then you'd leave a lot of half-tens and like that. So it was kind of cool because the ball that you chose, if it didn't see the front 25 feet of the pattern, even if you hit the pocket, you couldn't create enough friction across the deck to get it to continue. Like, it would just deflect off the pins. So when I started out while I was there at the Mo, I was throwing the hitter, which I have short pinned as well. And because it's a short pin with those numbers on it, like if you look at the hitter, it becomes an 040, 010. Differential, intermediate differential, versus the zigzag, which becomes an 030, 010, which is a very special number. We'll get back to that. When I was throwing that hitter, it was just, I couldn't get it to retain the tilt and lose rotation the way I needed to, so it was kind of really over-under, and it was funny. But as soon as I made the move to this ball, it went through the pins completely differently. I didn't move my feet, but the way the ball got down lane, because that 30 differential by 10 intermediate differential, which is that golden number, if you've ever heard Steve Freshour talk about it, that 3-to-1 ratio, that gives us a unique motion through the pins. It just hits better. It just strikes better. And just changing that ball, I went from 192 to 274. Didn't change where I was throwing to, didn't change where I was standing. All I did was change how the ball was getting down lane, how it saw the front part of the lane, and how it was getting through the pins down lane. You can see here on the house pattern, that really big cover stock on it, I may only be able to throw it game 1, but on a heavier oil pattern, or if you have less friction, this is something that we can get. Oh, look at that. This is super benchmarky. This makes me very happy.
Hey everybody, Rob Johnson here, and I just wanted to take a second to thank everyone who's already picked up a copy of my book, A Modern Guide to Fit and Arsenal Construction for Two-Handed Bowlers. Now, it really warms my heart, the amount of people who've already contacted me who've read the book with their training plans, their successes, and even their honor scores. And I've been blown away with the quality of conversation I've been having with pro shops and even PBA players on the science of building a proper arsenal based on RG, differential, intermediate differential, and layouts. Now, if you've already picked up the book, thank you so much, and congratulations on your future success. And if you haven't, why not? The link's in the description below. And now, back to bowling.
So we went back. If you look at the hitter versus, and we've got the Rattler here, we always use a benchmark ball that has the same kind of numbers, core numbers that is available from any company, so you can kind of, compare apples to apples. Speaking of apples to apples, the hitter, if you look at the cover stock, it was the utility versus the HK22. It seems like the HK22, and look at it compared to our Rattler here, the HK22 seems to be, and this sounds weird, it sees the oil better in the front, but doesn't burn up. And it really sees the oil in the mid lane. So as you compare it to my symmetrical Rattler here, you see I have to get it out much farther and create much more motion down lane, but yet it's still deflected to the right. Watch it when we go to lane level here. Before we do that, we've got the zigzag hybrid, because we wanted to show you the difference here. When we had the exact same layout on it, look at this. We saw about 2 boards less hook, and it looks like, let's just double check here on the slow-mo. It looks like about 2 feet more distance. Let's see if I ever come back on the screen here. Yeah, it's just, there's something about this zigzag core. Yeah, it looks like it just went down a little bit farther and it cornered and struck, but got through the pins differently. There's something about the zigzag core, especially for two-handed bowlers, it's just crazy the motion you can create. But it's not just for two-handers. You can see there, watch when we get the zigzag down here. Watch where the Rattler goes off the deck to the right, where the zigzag goes off the deck to the left. And this is the difference between striking for a long time and striking here and there. You can see the zigzag finished through the pins where the Rattler, basically it bounced off them. We need to make sure we create enough friction to be able to keep the ball from deflecting and potentially leaving those flat 10s. That was much stronger through the pins there. As I was saying, this zigzag core is very special. And here's the hybrid versus the solid. Because of the difference in performance you can create just with layouts. This ball is literally, it could be 3 balls if you think about it. You put a strong pin up versus a pin down or short pin, and then something that's versatility. You can get 1.5 to 3 inches difference in flare, but also the size of the flare, so you can get a much more reactive shape out of it. I don't know how many ways to say that this ball is special. This core is special. So if you're a two-hander, if you're a one-hander, this is the type of ball that can fill a whole bunch of holes in your bag and give you the kind of reliable reaction that you want right out of the gate. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, guys, we'll see you laneside.